AI hype is finally dying down. Companies have realized that people don't really care or want AI. Like Microsoft recently had a massive stock drop because they finally admitted that AI was not that useful and they needed to fix Windows, and no one liked that. And by no one, I really mean investors, because let's be real, the average person would love if Microsoft fixed Windows. We just don't believe they will. But companies and investors are starting to realize that people don't want AI in anything. And that's a big problem for all these companies because they've spent billions of dollars on AI. And a lot of these companies only really exist because of AI. It would be pretty bad if the hype train completely died. So in a final attempt to garner hype for AI companies have started pushing the idea that we're gonna have AI data centers in space. Because yeah, that makes sense. If your only concept of space is science fiction, AI data centers in space actually sounds like a great idea. The problem is in reality, it is a horrific idea. Like, just getting a data center into space would already be hard enough. Like, this is not an easy thing to do. But it's a good thing you don't need to go to space to find a good doctor. With today's video sponsor, ZocDoc. ZocDoc lets you filter for healthcare providers that are actually covered under your insurance. You don't get surprise bills. And if you don't have insurance, you can filter for doctors that take out-of-network patients. And ZocDoc lets you search and compare high-quality in-network doctors. You can find the perfect doctor for you. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with over 150,000 different providers in all 50 states. Whether you're looking for dermatology, dentistry, eye care, or just a general doctor, ZocDoc has you covered with over 200 different specialties on their site. On ZocDoc, you can easily search by specialty or symptom to find the doctor that is perfect for you. And my favorite thing about ZocDoc is how easy it is to book appointments. You literally just go on the website and find a doctor you like and then book an appointment. It's that easy. And the best part is you can usually get that appointment within 24 to 72 hours, sometimes the same day if you're lucky. And there's no need to call doctors or wait on hold because you don't do any of that. You just go on the website and find the doctor and book on the website. It's way better. So stop waiting, stop guessing, and go to ZocDoc.com/spatnz to get a top-rated doctor today. Thank you, ZocDoc, for sponsoring the video, and let's get back into AI data centers in space. So ignoring the fact that getting an AI data center into space with our current technology is basically impossible, powering it would already be very difficult. Because here's the thing, you would have to hook up solar panels to this massive data center. It would have to be able to power the entire thing. Like, the ISS has solar panels and it produces a fraction of what would be needed to power a data center. Like, the data centers use megawatts. Like, to put into perspective how much power these data centers use, they're building entire nuclear reactors for just these data centers. That's it. The only thing that nuclear reactor will be powering is a data center. That's how much power these things gobble up. You're not gonna power a data center in space with just solar panels. It's basically impossible. Like, you could do it if you built a solar panel array bigger than the actual data center itself. And on top of that, since there's no air in space and things get hot when they're in the sun, the solar panel array to power the data center would also have to be water cooled, because you literally could do it no other way. And then to get the heat out of the water cooling loop for the solar panels, you would have to make a giant heat sink. Like, I'm explaining this in a very unscientific way. There's definitely better videos that go over the more science explanations of this. But you basically just need way too much material, way too much space in space to make this stuff work. Like, the amount of stuff you would need to make a giant data center in space work is basically impossible with our current technology. We simply could not get enough stuff up there. Like, I want you to look at this data center. This data center is a small data center. It's not a big one. Imagine trying to get this into space. You can't do it. And that's not even including all the power stuff it would require, all the cooling stuff it would require. This would require so much more than just a bunch of GPU racks. Like, if we could just send GPUs into space and that was the end of it, that would be kind of sick. Okay, but we can't do that. The GPUs need to be powered. They need to be cooled. There's a bunch of things that they can't do when they're in space. Also, I think the biggest problem with sending things into space is the fact that there's no air. Like, there's no air in space. It's a vacuum. So if you want to cool anything in the data center in space, you would need like a massive liquid cooling array with an entire heat sink dissipation system. It's a joke. It makes no sense. It really does just make way more sense to build data centers on Earth and not be insane about them. It really makes a lot more sense to do it that way. Like, if we could just send data centers into space and they would just work with little to no problems, I would not care at all. The reason I don't like them saying they're going to send data centers into space is because they're not going to. This is not going to happen. It's just physically impossible. We do not have the technology to make this happen within any kind of time frame. It's not going to happen. Like, sending data centers into space sounds cool. It sounds like a cool thing that we could, in theory, do, and it's something that investors would hear and be like, oh, that sounds futuristic and profitable. I'm going to invest in the data centers in space. Like, that is the entire idea with this. There's no actual scientific backing behind sending AI data centers into space. Every scientist worth their salt would tell you it's a stupid idea. Because even if we do manage to get a big data center into space, what happens when a space rock destroys it? What do we do? Do we go up and fix it? How does that work? Or what if something just malfunctions? What do we do? How do we fix that? Like, there's so much that doesn't make any sense about putting AI data centers into space. It just sounds kind of cool. Also, radiation would cause computer components to not work properly and give them more errors. Like, if you put a GPU into space, radiation from space will give it more errors. It just happened. Now, I don't think this is entirely an attempt to hype up stocks. I think a lot of this too is the fact that these billionaires want to just build data centers wherever and do it however they want. Like, Jeff Bezos is also talking about this. Like, Elon Musk is talking about this a lot too. I think these people just want to build data centers and not have people bother them about it. And in space, they could technically do that. Like, in their heads, they think this is possible because they have billions of dollars. But in reality, this will never get done. The project will never get finished. It's just not going to happen. Like, maybe in 30 to 50 years, this could happen, but not anytime soon. They're talking about this like it's going to happen next week. It's not going to happen within 10 years. And even if they do manage to get a data center into space, if it's too big, it will eventually just hit some space debris and break, because that's what happens with this kind of stuff. Like, space debris is already a big problem because we send way too much junk into Earth's orbit. And when something goes into Earth orbit, it tends to not go out of orbit until a very long time. So the more stuff we send up there, the less usable orbit gets around Earth. And we probably should not be putting literal junk into our orbit. That sounds like a bad idea. And trust me, an AI data center is literal junk. It will be out of date within a month and it will stop working. And I think realistically too, once this AI bubble does pop, all of this talk of like space data centers will just disappear because it is a truly terrible idea. Like, there is no real benefit to putting these things in space, like, at all. And like, very conveniently, Elon Musk started talking about this stuff right when he's trying to get SpaceX to go public, which is probably why he's talking about this. He probably wants to get a huge amount of money to invest in AI space data centers, even though it's not gonna work and it will never exist. Like, remember that Elon Musk's entire thing is lying to you and then getting you to invest in his companies? That's all his thing is. Like, the full self-driving lie is pretty much run its course. It's basically done. That's why he stopped producing the Model S and X. He needs a new lie, which is now the Optimus robots. And I think that he's hoping AI data centers in space will be a good backup, because Optimus robots are a joke. I don't think most of the people promoting AI data centers in space actually think this stuff will work. I think they just think investors will buy it, and they are buying it. Because as I said earlier, if your only idea of space is science fiction, it does sound like a good idea. Like, in your head, the way you perceive space is that it's cold. And oh my God, data centers produce so much heat. Why don't we just put them in space? Like, it makes sense in that regard. But in reality, this does not make any sense, and it's just a last-ditch effort to get people to buy into AI hype. That's literally it. They're trying to solve the problem of people being against AI data centers on Earth by saying they're gonna put them in space, when in reality, we just don't want them at all. Like, even though AI data centers are horrible for the local environment and people in the area, people would care a lot less if they were actually useful. I'm just being honest. Like, it would suck they existed, but we hate coal mines forever because they were useful. But I am curious to see if they'll actually send any kind of AI data center into space, like a small test prototype. I am curious to see if they'll actually do it. I don't think they will. I think they'll just bait investors and act like they're going to do it and not actually do it, because at the end of the day, this is a waste of money. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you need to check out my content, and have a good one.